Now, for the first time, a Denuvo game from 2025 has been cracked by pirates. Now, Denuvo is it, well. Let me explain what happened and why this is so newsworthy. This marks a rare moment where Denuvo is a type of DRM. And this marks one of the few moments where a game protected by that type of DRM from 2024 and 2025 has reportedly been cracked. Some gamers do find it extremely difficult because this is not just normal DRM. This is the DRM that's the toughest to crack in ever. This is the one of the toughest that people know how to crack. But again, with any kind of DRM, once you have enough time with it, you're probably going to find a way to crack it. I would be shocked if there was ever a DRM that was uncrackable, because after enough time, you're gonna find a way somewhere. Now, again, that's speculation, but if I had to put money on it, I would not bet money that there's going to be a DRM that's going to be uncrackable by someone. But about this DRM, that's called Denuvo. It's an anti-tamper DRM that reportedly checks a game's legitimacy at one time instead of just at launch, which historically slows down cracking significantly. So others just check it at once and it's done. This DRM checks the legitimacy of the game every time it's played. That's why it's so much more harder to crack than any DRM at launch. Um, because it's not just checking once. It's not just checking at the launch of the game. Some community discussions suggest modern versions of Denuvo are uncrackable in many cases uh, without deep technical work, and even skilled crackers find it tedious. So, like I said, this isn't uncrackable DRM, but this is probably the hardest to crack, um, but it's not uncrackable because a game using this type of DRM, uh, hackers were able to get into. And cracking de novo protected games is still a niche pursuit. It's not a large piracy scene trend like classic wares cracking. So, you know, honestly, I just think many people that can get past DRM, they just don't want to. It's either they don't have the time or they don't want to put in the effort to get through something um, this complicated to get by. Now, that doesn't mean no one's doing it because it's still a niche pursuit. Some people love a challenge. So it's not saying that no one's doing it. It's just very few are doing it with this type of DRM. But um, but it's not uncrackable. And I think it's honestly a good thing because that there is a way to do this because um, games with uh, games with this kind of DRM or any kind of DRM really, it's it's they become a problem honestly. There are some DRM that's good. You shouldn't really play the game unless you were offered something free, like from a network, say PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live, or if you bought the game, that's fine. Don't play the game unless you purchased it or someone purchased it for you. I can agree with that. But there are some DRMs that's almost just as complicated to get by as a virus, even if when you did buy the game. And that's when the DRM becomes a problem because someone paid and the DRM is still, for some reason, flagging you as you shouldn't be playing. That's when it becomes a problem. That's why we don't. And honestly, I mean, you know, like I said, there's a reason to have it, but there's a problem when it stops people who had the right to play the game can't. Um, when I think of DRM, I go back to what Xbox One wanted to do when they first launched, and in 2013, or what they said they were going to do. Uh, you had to any new game for people who don't remember, it was any new game that you played on a disc that was going to be tied to your account. That disc wasn't going to work anywhere else. If you wanted to trade the game with a friend, you had to transfer the license on your console to that game to their console, and so forget selling it at GameStop, or wherever you would sell your Xbox One games when you no longer want them. And also 24-hour internet check-in, otherwise your console was bricked. That's the kind of DRM that's a problem. But yeah, if anyone releases any kind of DRM, just like this one, the reason it's so newsworthy is because so few people work at this, cracking this DRM, because of the tediousness, because of how complicated it is to crack it. But another game has been cracked by it, so that was using Denuvo DRM. So and honestly, like I said, if given enough time, someone's going to find a way to crack it, whether or not it was good or whether it was hindering players that had the right to play the game. That's a different story. Um, but yeah, DRM, people are always going to find a way around it. Um, and some people, and another one from a game that was just released a year or two ago, they found a way around